So yeah, I knew that dermatology at the NP school, dermatology is the route I want to go. No ifs, ands, or buts. And I was determined to get in. So, let me tell you. So first I went and hired a professional resume writer. I let her know my experience as RN and what are my goals for this new position that I'm looking for. I do have a certification in wound care that I got while I was working as an RN in the hospital. So I put that in there. Then once I got my resume, I applied everywhere. I applied everywhere in the US because I'm willing to travel wherever because I want to get into dermatology real bad. So I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna apply everywhere. Access denied. I got nothing. No one emailed me back, returned a phone call, sent a message, a DM, nothing. Totally deaded me. So I was like, all right, then. So a couple of places that I applied to, I called them and I asked them, hey, like, why you didn't hire me? You know, why I didn't make it to the next step? And they told me, it was like, girl, you ain't got no experience. So what we gonna do with you? I said, you right, I got it. So what kind of experience do I need? You know, you need to put on there that you have some kind of dermatology experience. I was like, okay, bet. So I was like, how can I get some dermatology experience? The post-grad courses. I looked at that, I was like, yeah, I'm already in a lot of student debt. I'm not about to add on to that. So we're gonna have to find another way. So then I went online and boot camp, dermatology boot camp by Dr. Boswell popped up. Amazing derm boot camp. Amazing. So I said, let me do this 6 months course. And I was still working at the time. So I said, let me bust out this 6 months course and see what we could do, what we can do. So I did that. So I called the NP that did my resume that, hey, I got a certificate that I completed these courses. Let's add that boy to my resume. She's like, okay, bet, no problem, let's do that. So I added it, and then I put all the procedures and stuff that they have listed that most derms do. So I put that. And I put it out there and wait and see who caught. And also, I ran the ground. I felt like I had a mixtape and I was literally promoting it. I had my resume in my bag, printed. It went to every dermatology clinic, every aesthetic clinic in New York City, and was passing it out. I told you, my resume was like my new mixtape, but we gotta do what we gotta do to get to where we wanna be. So then, boom, a dermatology clinic called me up. It's like, hey, we see your resume. We see you have some experience and you have a certificate with the boot camp, blah, blah, blah. We'd like to set up an interview. I said, we in there, look at God, okay? Look at God. So I was like, bet, like, where? Miami. I was like, all right, it's fine. So I fly out to Miami for the interview, and it was at this plastic surgery office. Old as hell, but I was just like, girl, you sacrifice. You just need to get in. And anybody knows with dermatology, it does not matter get in. You just need to get in. So I was like, okay. I go in for the interview. They loved me, and they was like, there, let me know. So I was in Miami on the beach. I got another call. It's like, hello. It's for a dermatology clinic in New York City, telling me that I need to have an in-person interview the following day. Now, remind you, I'm in Miami on the beach. So I got my black ass up, called Delta, and left that night to get on the plane to go back to New York to go for the interview. I went for the interview, and they were like, hey, we love your resume. It's amazing. It's glad that you have some experience. And we just want to see if it's a good fit for our company. I was like, okay. So I go in for the interview, and one of the doctors is there. One of the head doctors is there. I was shitting bricks. I will let y'all know one thing about dermatology interviews. They gonna put you to the test, and they are going to ask you questions and put you in give you different cases and scenarios, and then you have to act like you know what you're talking about. So it's like, man, I'm from the Bronx. Fake it till you make it. So I know I did this course for 6 months, so it can't be too far off from the course I took. So this doctor, he asked me a bunch of questions, like just spitting at me back to back. Then we go into the patient's room, and he's like, what is this? This is where my RN/ER experience blessed me. I knew exactly what it was because I used to see it all the time in the ER. He said, oh, good. It's like, I do this all the time. So then he goes and say, oh, let's see this other client. So we go in, we saw another client, and he's like, oh, how would you treat this? And I was like, oh, that's a wart. Okay. Cryotherapy, liquid nitrogen. So I say, oh yeah, liquid nitrogen, cryotherapy, 2 rounds you throw up between. He was just like, oh, okay. All right. So then he go into another room. And then and there, I had no clue whatsoever what the hell that rash was. I had no idea. I said, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I have no idea what that is. And I swear I was sweating because I thought he was gonna be like, girl, you ain't got no damn experience, get out. He was just like, oh, it's okay, no problem. And then he explained everything of what the patient had, how to treat it, everything. Amazing. Then after that, I spent the whole day there. Now this is the interview. I spent the whole entire day there with the doctor. And then he brings out this book, this dermatology book. And I'm in the chair like, oh shit, every day, God don't fail me now. God don't fail me now. So he opens up the book and he's reviewing. And he's talking about different cases, and it's other mid-level providers there. And he's asking them questions like, oh, what is this? What is that? How do we treat this? What are some labs and stuff you need? Like, just spitting stuff out, and they were just answering back and forth. And then he would turn around and ask me questions. And some of them I was able to answer correctly, but I was so freaking nervous. So after that, I was there, like I said, all day, so about 5 hours, a 5-hour interview. And then that was it. He was like, oh, thanks for coming. I enjoyed you coming and visiting the clinic. We'll let you know if you'll be a right fit for us. You know, hope you have a great day. And that was it. A couple of weeks go by and they're like, oh, we need you to come in and have a second interview with the CEO. My heart dropped because I thought I was in the clear. I thought, girl, you did that. So I thought I was in the clear. I thought I was good. And then they was like, So I was like, okay, yeah, no problem. That'd be perfect. The CEO was like, yeah, the CEO. I was like, no problem. Great. So they told me the day. So I'm brushing up on all my notes and everything, like trying to at least get like the basics. I felt like I had the basics down, but I was really trying to make sure I covered a lot. Because now I'm with the CEO. So I was just like, okay. So I go in for the interview. And won't he do it? Won't he do it? This man had a family emergency and couldn't make the interview. I was like, oh no, really? Like, oh my gosh, like, is he okay? But I was generally like worried, like, is he okay and stuff like that. You know, I don't want nothing bad happening to him or whatever. It was like, yeah, he just can't come in for the interview, you know, so what they're gonna do is just go by your previous interview and they'll make a decision by that, and then you'll meet the CEO afterwards. It's like, oh, okay. And then a couple of weeks after that, it's when I got the offer. And they accepted me into the clinic. And that's when I started my training, which involved textbooks, boot camp, more boot camp courses, and then it was hands-on, and they paired you with different doctors, dermatologists, and I was at 4 different clinics, 4 separate days. And it took, I think I was in that for like 2 months of extensive training. So yeah, so that was like my little story of how I got into dermatology. Getting in, they still have to train you. It's the fact of getting in so they can train you. You see what I'm saying? My other advice for people too is getting into aesthetics. If you get into aesthetics and you have that hands-on aesthetics training, a lot of these dermatology practices will hire you based off your aesthetics, and then they teach you the medical side of dermatology. I've seen that a lot. I worked at different clinics. I know a lot of dermatologists that owns their own practice, and this is the things that they tell me. Also, if you have any surgical experience, so that's another thing I want to tell people. That's really the big hype and where you make the big bucks. Now people want to go for aesthetics, which is fine, but surgical dermatology, take suturing courses, learn how to suture, and amazing. They will hire you if you have that experience. Because dermatology, where you get the most of your money and your revenue for the clinic, is procedures. So if you're removing a cyst, if you're doing Mohs surgeries, minor ones, you're not a Mohs surgeon, let's get that right, but the small ones that we can excise as mid-level providers, your reimbursement rate is very high. A lot of times higher than filler and Botox. But it's good to be well-rounded in dermatology. So it's good to have medical experience, surgical experience, aesthetics experience. And if you have that, baby, you writing your own ticket anywhere, anywhere. You you can leave and go anywhere and you will get a job and you will get paid because you have that experience. But yeah, any other questions? You can ask me in the comments below. And be sure to follow my business page because I'll be posting a lot of things about dermatology there. And follow my page. I would appreciate it. And I hope this helps someone. Anyone. I know people on here saying I'm a hot ass mess, but it's okay. That's just me. I keep it real. So it is what it is. Bye.